Once upon a time, there were as many tripe shops as there were fish and chip shops in some parts of the UK. Tripe is a stomach meat, usually from cows. A lot of what was sold was called dressed tripe. Dressed tripe was cow stomachs which were then boiled and bleached, giving them their distinctive white colouring. The cooking process for tripe was often very slow. Tripe has existed in the UK since the arrival of the Normans. In the Victorian era, tripe was seen as a hearty working class food, and that view remained up until the second half of the 20th century, particularly in northern England, in Lancashire and Yorkshire, where it was often sold in markets. Tripe commonly appeared in dishes such as tripe and onions, tripe pie, and tripe and peas. By the 1950s, there were as many as 146 tripe shops across northern England. These were restaurants and cafes. They were often so popular that people would queue up to get it. They were often the heart and social soul of northern communities and served a dual role as a local social space more often than not. Tripe is a traditional British meal, appeared in both Oliver Twist and The Road to Wigan Pier by George Orwell, showing how much of a cultural staple the meat was. Particularly in Lancashire, it was seen with a lot of local pride in a similar vein to Lancashire hot pot. There would be whole streets where the main function of that area was to process tripe. Much like liver and kidneys, younger generations of British people stopped eating it after the BSE crisis, and the BSE crisis made a lot of people scared to eat organ meat more broadly. The introduction of cheaper and more palatable food led to the deaths of a lot of tripe shops, and now in the UK, tripe is mainly seen as pet food. It can still, of course, be found in some market towns being sold on some market stalls. However, many young Britons simply just ignore it. In some circles, tripe is a slang word meaning rubbish or bad. This shows you just how far tripe has fallen in terms of national esteem. This reflects a part of British society that is simply lost, wherein you would eat every part of the meat. Nothing would go to waste. Your mum would never forgive you if something went to waste. A culture of resourcefulness that's now gone, replaced by a consumer culture wherein an app can get you any food you want in seconds. Regional traditions died, regional food died, and no one cared as you could get food cheaper and on an app. The food that fed the North through the Industrial Revolution and during the wars, the food that was once as popular as chips has been largely abandoned now, as young people go on 5 grand holidays to Spain, France or Portugal and eat tripe without even knowing it, whilst turning their nose up to tripe back home. What is the world coming to? If you ate tripe, or if you still do, give this video a like and share it with anyone else you know who still eats tripe. Comment on ideas for future British dishes you would like to see us cover, and of course a subscribe massively helps the channel grow. Thank you as always for listening.